And let's look at Doge now, because Doge really came in like a lion at the beginning of Trump's second term. It essentially let Elon Musk take a chainsaw to the federal government. It was to weed out waste, fraud, and abuse. The department said that they saved over $100 billion, but one nonpartisan group said it will cost taxpayers $135 billion. It was also reportedly estimated that the IRS would lose $500 billion because of Doge. In your book, you say Doge is likely to create costs that exceed the costs of current inefficient externality policies. What do you make of Doge, and what do you think the replacement could have been to weed out waste, fraud, and abuse?
Again, we're back to the same question. What are you trying to do, right? I have no problem, certainly, with saying, look, the government is inefficient. There are a lot of things that we don't need and that we need to cut them. But when we do that, we want to say either markets could do these, we don't really need to have government do it, or this is clearly a wasteful activity. So again, you'd want something that's thoughtful, systematic. For each cut that Musk and friends wanted to make, they would give an explanation. We don't need this, it's inefficient, and be clear about it. The market can do this, we don't need it, all right? Or at least even consider, okay, this is something that's useful for the government to do, but we have to reform the policy and we could do it more efficiently. At least have a discussion about it, not just completely throw everything out and chop, 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 and never sort of look, okay, what is this eventually going to do besides reducing the size of government? There is no vision of economics that I'm aware of that has as your objective that you want to simply reduce the size of government. You want to reduce the size of government to do something. Improve economic welfare, improve efficiency, help the poor, something, right? I think that's our problem. Again, what are you trying to do? Why are you trying to do it? Is this the best way possible? We're just left, wondering what's going on, especially now where I don't even know what Doge is really existing as an entity. Musk is gone. Who knows who's running the thing?
It was kind of like in like a lion, out like a lamb, is how I would describe Doge. But based on what you wrote in the book, it feels like you never think that taking an entire sledgehammer to the government, or to the government taking a sledgehammer rather, is the approach. Perhaps a scalpel approach, perhaps the market letting the market correct itself is the approach. But what do you think the government's role is in spurring innovation and competition is?
Well, first of all, I mean, the danger we have now in this kind of extreme thinking is, quote, markets are good, government is bad. What's the question? Right? That's not a good way really to sort of think about problems, right? You want to start with the problem and ask, okay, who's going to address this thing, most effectively? Okay, innovation. The most important thing is the government's got to stay out of the way, and that's exactly what they have not been doing. Two major sources of innovation in this economy are our universities and our immigrants. They contribute a disproportionately large share of innovations, and obviously winners of Nobel Prizes. Our universities are hotbeds of ideas. And that is exactly who the administration has been attacking. Now, in a previous interview and discussion with you, I made the point, and I think it's still true, that Trump is technophobic. I think he's basically afraid of innovation and technology, and he certainly doesn't understand it. And he doesn't really appreciate the damage he is doing with these attacks on immigrants and these attacks on universities. These are the sources of our innovation, and these are so important for our economy. So that's number one. That is key to economic growth, and it's exactly the thing that the administration is undermining. There are other things, patent protection, contest prizes that have been offered to spur innovation. But as I point out, those things also can be very wasteful, and I'm less enthusiastic about that than really allowing innovation to flourish. And most importantly, don't get in the way. Where there's an opportunity to spur innovation, quick switch here over to AI. most of AI discussions are about AI in labor markets, but they completely ignore AI in mobility, autonomous modes. This is a huge source of innovation. It really is a game changer. And it really should be getting the attention of the administration. Secretary of Transportation Duffy worries about how people are dressing on airplanes. I really don't think that should be at the top of our agenda. I think what we need to do is try to have more tests and expediting the adoption of autonomous vehicles. That's a major innovation. That is something the government can do. It's completely silent on the issue. Again, I think it gets back to the overall mindset about technology and my concern about technophobia.